number 22 Auburn Tigers go on the road to take on the number 11 Oklahoma Sooners. 3:30 kickoff on ABC. And this is the biggest game of the weekend, Brad. Jackson Arnold returns to Norman. John Mateer's surge. Sooners favored by 6.5 in this one. And my first question to you, Brad, bigger storyline to you. Auburn's revenge arc with Jackson Arnold or Oklahoma proving it can handle the SEC grind week to week?
Without a doubt, this is about Oklahoma proving it, Nate. We have seen that Oklahoma has really been kind of the media darling just by what they have done in the portal. They go out and get John Mateer, Jaden Ott. Brent Venables goes and gets a new offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle. And especially after Oklahoma beat Michigan a couple weeks ago, Oklahoma is the media darling of the SEC.
They're legit.
And look, we're going to find out a lot about them this Saturday. You know, I was watching SEC Network, I believe it was this past weekend, and they all gave their power rankings. And guess what? Oklahoma was 1, 2, or 3 in all the guys' power rankings. So this is an Oklahoma team. They got to go out and prove it. They struggled year one in the SEC. Yeah, they did have a huge upset over Alabama, but a lot of people want to find out if they're for real or not. I was really, really impressed with them in their upset over Michigan. But now you get a legit SEC team. You mentioned the kind of the revenge factor. Jackson Arnold wants to go into Norman and prove that you made a mistake of not putting pieces around me. This is going to be a fun one, but to me, this is all about Oklahoma proving that they are a legitimate contender, not only in the SEC, but on the national landscape.
Yeah, I'm going to say this one's bigger for Jackson Arnold, in my opinion. Okay. I think he's got to prove himself in this game. Yeah. If he goes out there and lays an egg, this is going to look really good for Oklahoma and really bad for Jackson Arnold and the Auburn Tigers. This is a must-win game for Auburn. We look at the Auburn snapshot so far this season, 3-0. They beat South Alabama 31-15, 5 scores on 8 drives, 337 yards on offense. It's South Alabama. South Alabama impressed me. They put up a fight against Auburn, in my opinion. Jackson Arnold thus far through the season, 501 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, plus 192 on the ground and 4 rushing touchdowns. He's impressed me. Jeremiah Cobb, running game, 314 yards, 4 touchdowns. Then you look at the vertical threats, Eric Singleton, Cam Coleman. They're must connects for this game as well. They have, in my opinion, one of the best wide receiver cores in all of college football. Defense created 2 takeaways last week against South Alabama, but the concern is they allowed 400 plus passing yards at Baylor. Not great. No. And listen, Baylor's a decent team, but they're not that great. And then you look at the injuries for Auburn. Running back Damari Alston has a shoulder injury. I don't know if he's questionable or out this game, but nonetheless, either way, it's one guy down. Right. My question to you, Brad, is what's the one throw Auburn has to hit early? Go ball to Coleman or a glance post, maybe a slant route to Singleton to keep Venables' defense on edge?
I think for Jackson Arnold to gain some confidence as well as to get this guy going, I think they need to hit Cam Coleman. Look, this was a guy that he was in the same class as Ryan Williams, in the same class as Jeremiah Smith, same class as Ryan Wingo. He's a dude. I mean, he's talented when you look at him, but they need to get him going. And look, Eric Singleton is very, very talented. Of course, he transferred. He came to Auburn via the portal from Georgia Tech. But Cam Coleman is a difference maker. Nate, I'm going to get more to this as we break down this game. Yeah. But I'm still not sold on Jackson Arnold as a passer. But when you got 2 guys like this, as well as Horatio Fields, and you mentioned this is a really, really good group of Auburn receivers, they need to me, Cam Coleman needs to get at minimum double-digit targets. I realize, targets does not equal catches, but they need to target Cam as much as they possibly can, in my opinion.
You got to give him a chance, no doubt. Coleman is one of those guys, big physical threat down the field, 6'3", 210 pounds, I believe.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Singleton, the complete opposite, 5'10", 180 something, and he's going to be the speedster. Right. He's gonna open up the pass game on the end routes, on the slants, on the mesh routes. This is a guy you want to get in space if you're Auburn. To me, Brad, I agree with you, but I also disagree. I mean, I understand it was Baylor, but listen, my top two quarterbacks in week 1 of college football were Jackson Arnold and Carson Beck. I thought those two guys consistently made good throws, and they played well. Like, they didn't make mistakes. When you looked at the other teams, everyone was kind of nervous early on. Jackson Arnold looked poised. He looked like he was ready to play against Baylor. And again, I know it's Baylor. This is going to be a totally different game against Oklahoma's defense. But to me, he's looked good early on. This will be his biggest test against Oklahoma. Let's look at Oklahoma in a snapshot as well. 3-0. 42-3 against Temple, held them to 104 total yards. Then you look at their quarterback, John Mateer. He's looking to make a Heisman run this year. 944 yards through the air. I believe he broke the single game record passing in week 2 or week 3 against, I forget who it was, but either way, he threw for over 450 yards. You think of the Baker Mayfields, the Jalen Hurts, the Kyler Murrays. To break their record, that's really impressed me. 67 completion rate, not the greatest, but they throw the ball a lot. 5 touchdowns through the air, 161 yards on the ground, 4 rushing touchdowns. Extends plays versus man-to-man coverage. You go man-to-man against this offense and these wide receivers like Deion Burks and Torrey Blaylock. You're given all the opportunity in the world for a guy like John Mateer to just shred you on the run attack. Then you look at their defense, fast, disciplined. This is the defense that everyone expected Venables to have at Oklahoma.
That's right.
Year 1 was very questionable. Is he year 2?
No, he's year 3. Year 2 in the SEC. Yeah.
Year 1 and 2 was very questionable for Venables. Everyone was wondering if he was the right hire. This year, he's proven thus far he's the right guy for that job. And the question I have for you, Brad, early on is, if Auburn shows heavy quarterback run early on, do you expect Oklahoma to copy the Michigan plan, load the box, and dare Jackson Arnold to make outside throws? Or do they spin it late into combo coverage? I mean, what do you expect from this?
First of all, I don't think that Oklahoma can use the same game plan they used against Michigan for a couple different reasons. One, you're not going against a true freshman quarterback like Bryce Underwood. He's making his first career start. Jackson Arnold does have some, he's got plenty of experience.
And he knows this defense very well.
Defense, but two, no disrespect, I like Michigan and what they're doing, but once again, Auburn has got better weapons on the outside. So if Oklahoma does choose to load the box and bring safeties down, blitz linebackers, commit to the run, Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Horatio Fields, they're gonna burn it. Now, I will say, Nate, one thing that I'm really excited about, R. Mason Thomas, Marvin Jones Jr., that Oklahoma front four, they're really stinking good. They are very, very, very talented. I just really, really like what Oklahoma brings to the table. I think especially Mason Thomas and Marvin Jones, man, let those guys pin their ears back and go. And yes, they have to do it responsibly. They can't get too far upfield because that's where Jackson Arnold is going to, look for those alleys and look to exploit. But man, collapse the pocket on them and just try to put pressure on this Auburn offensive line. But no, to answer your question, I don't think Oklahoma can load the box up and leave Cam Coleman and those guys one-on-one. They'll get burnt, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is an interesting game for me, right? To me, this is a game of adjustments for both of these teams. This is going to be a halftime adjustment game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a give and take game. Oklahoma cannot cover Auburn the way they did Michigan. Right. You made it very clear, and I think that's a great point because they've got the tight end game. They've got the wide receiver game. They're going to have to drop back in coverage. Are they going to have a quarterback spy is my question. because that takes someone out of coverage and leaves the running back wide open on the wheel routes and whatever you want to do with the running back, the delayed, block and shed and get open for 5-10 yards. It's going to be very intriguing to see how Venables I was thinking the right word. It's going to be interesting to see how Venables dials up this pass attack and this run attack, because, man, it's going to be a give and take game for if you're Auburn's offense.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at the matchup chessboard. I mean, this is exactly what I talked about. When Auburn has the ball, look for them to do the quarterback run RPOs. Jackson Arnold's going to use his legs early. Can Oklahoma take that away from him early on? Shot plays with Oklahoma's spin safeties. They're going to be single high. They might be too high. How does Jackson Arnold leverage his game to force them into difficult situations on the defensive side of the ball? Oklahoma counter, spin pressure, trap looks, force Auburn to win outside. Force Jackson Arnold to throw it to these guys. You got to.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he's just going to pick his poison and beat you with his legs every time.
Right.
And that's going to be frustrating. The stat that swings it, though, Auburn needs 2+ explosive passes over expectation. My question to you is, if Venables wins first down, what is Auburn's best answer? Design quarterback keep, tonal screen, or maybe even a quick glance of RPO?
I mean, I think your third, your third play there hit it. I mean, I'm going RPO. This is still a very talented Auburn running back room, and Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton can both be very, very much weapons on those RPOs. And once again, it's a triple option too, because it still gives Jackson Arnold a chance to pull the ball and make a play with his legs. But that is going to be the key. If Brent Venables wins on first down and they get Auburn off schedule behind the chains, that's playing right in their hands. They want Jackson Arnold to throw. And once again, I go back to, I heard what you said, and I thought you brought up a good point. Jackson Arnold did make some plays against Baylor. I'm still not convinced, though, that he is an effective passer. I think he's inaccurate. I think he's inconsistent. I think he is a very, very good runner, but I have just not seen enough from him with his arm to make me think that he is a guy that can, for 4 quarters, for 60 minutes, go out and just solely beat you with his arm. And that's going to be the question on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention briefly, too, is OU had some miscues against Michigan in the special teams.
Absolutely.
They had some muff punts. Yeah. And listen, that can be the difference. Michigan on the road is a lot different than Auburn on the road. Yeah. And I think Auburn's one of those teams that can take advantage of mistakes if you're Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
You really got to be careful and smart when going about that, because, listen, that can be a 14-point swing in a matter of seconds.
Absolutely.
You don't want to make mistakes. We talk about the prediction side, though. Right now, Oklahoma favored by 6.5, right? Who do you have taking this one, 3:30 on ABC in Norman?
This one, to me, this is, Nate, there's a lot of good storylines that you mentioned. It mentioned Jackson Arnold going back to Norman. Oklahoma, once again, they're out to prove they are for real. Give me the Sooners in this one. They're at home. I think Coach Venables is going to have that defense ready to go. Once again, I know, and I'm sure, all those fine Auburn fans are going to give me some hate in the comments, whatever. I don't trust Jackson Arnold as a passer. I just don't. I think he's inconsistent. And to me, John Mateer is the early favorite for the Heisman. I'm going to go ahead and put that down. He makes more plays with his arm and his legs. He's a better runner than Jackson Arnold. He's a better passer than Jackson Arnold. And I'm going to take the Sooners in this one.
Yeah, I think if Auburn wins this game, it's going to have to solely rely on Jackson Arnold, and that's very scary. It's not scary in the sense of Jackson Arnold's a good player.
Yeah.
But he's got to get the wide receivers the ball. And that's one-dimensional. Yes, he can beat you with the legs. I'm questioning this Auburn run game against this Oklahoma front. I wonder if they can get it done. To me, that's the difference. And you mentioned John Mateer as well, just having an outstanding season so far, on his way to a Heisman campaign. Give me the Oklahoma Sooners as well in a close one. I got them winning 27-17 outright, 3:30 in Norman, Oklahoma. But I think in terms of quarterback play, this is going to be one of the best matchups we see all year. all year.
Yeah.
It's going to be an electric game to watch. Again, it's one of those games. If you want to see high-flying, scoring offenses, take the over in this one too. The 48.5, I think, will hit in this game. So give me Oklahoma 27-17 against Auburn on Saturday, 3:30 on ABC. Oklahoma fans, Auburn fans, let us know down in the comments. Drop your score predictions below. Let us know what you think about this matchup. And be sure to subscribe down below as well. It helps us really push the YouTube algorithm, helps our channel grow. Really appreciate you watching. Give this video a like and turn on that bell notification so you can stay up to date when we post our latest content. We'll see you next week. It's time to break the huddle.